Hey everybody, welcome back. Good day everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox show. Understand something. We love doing these shows for you, and I want to thank everybody right now for sending in all your questions, because believe it or not, when you send in questions, we get throughout the week people going, you know what, I've always wanted to ask that question, but I was too scared to ask it. And when you send in your questions, you know what you're doing? You're creating a program in people's minds to make them feel like it's comfortable so that they can ask questions. You know what? There's not a person alive that doesn't have questions about their health. There isn't, regarding emotional, physical, or even spiritual, because spiritual is really about spiritual energy. It's all about energy flow. And understand something. We love when you ask your questions, because understand something. This is your show, and understand this, that all your questions matter, that you matter. And understand something, until you matter to yourself, you're never going to see the changes that you want in your life. You truly aren't. You've got to learn that you've got to focus on yourself. You've got to learn how to embrace loving yourself and looking after yourself. How will you ever really become really good at loving yourself and looking after yourself if you don't practice with yourself? So let's really think about that. Let's think about that every moment. How we can hold the loving line for ourselves and protect ourselves even from ourselves until we change those dysfunctional beliefs about ourselves that are undermining what I would like to call that perfect day. And understand, when I talk about creating the perfect day, you know what? You can only master your own emotions. You can't master anybody else's. But by mastering your own emotions, even if there's a bomb that goes off or there's chaos around you, you should be able to find that inner peace that shines out to that world around you. And then guess what? You'll create a whole different vibration. Good day, everyone. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and it is high time that you take your life back, your power back, and uncover the potential that is lying in everyone. There's genius inside of all of us, okay? So let's really look at becoming the practitioner. We start off as a patient because we don't know. We only hope we're going to get well. But as we get information, we know that we're going to get well. Because in the only time that you will get well and stay well is when you become your own practitioner. So you are the practitioner that you seek. So before we get started this week's show, I would like to just have a couple announcements, okay? First of all, Wednesday, December the 11th is Revitalizing Your Life and EMF Protection, okay, live with Peter Webb, and it'll be at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. You don't want to miss this. Please send in all your questions, okay, and let us know exactly what's going on. If you have any questions about EMF, or if you've got any questions about our bodyguards, okay, or our protectors. And this is called a bodyguard. And this is got infused with radionics. And we'll also be talking about revitalizers, because when it comes to your gardens, when it comes to your homes, when it comes to crops, when it comes to animals and things of that nature, because everything is frequency. All right. And then Thursday, December the 12th, it's What Dogs Teach Us with Dr. Marlene Siegel, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you know what? She's America's most loved veterinarian, all natural veterinarian. And she's got some of the best dog food, cat food that you could ever even create. Everybody's duplicating what she does because she comes right from the heart. And on December the 13th, we'll be doing another DocTalk, because I'm not going to be going away, so we'll keep up with all your questions. And understand something. Here it is. Today's show, it will be time-stamped. So if you send in a question or you like to question, you'll go up on YouTube, only on YouTube though, and you'll be able to find that question so that you don't have to watch this whole show if you don't want to, but we'd love if you did. You'll learn a lot, okay? All right? So let's get started, okay? All right, right off the bat, I'd like to introduce Jason. Jason is one of our master trainers, and Jason's going to be reading the questions today. Hey, Jason.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. It's Jason from Doc of Detox. Let's get started. All right, we have Betty Comstock from Facebook, and she wants to ask, What would you do with vein and nose? I was told I need to have it cauterized. It gets dry and I get a bad headache on the temple. Just started with the nebulizer. I don't like medical doctors. Love you guys. Love the Detox tea. Want to take it away, Darrell?
All right. So why don't you repeat that one more time?
So she's saying that she has a vein and nose. The doctors told her that she needs to get it cauterized, so they have to burn the skin or the flesh. It gets dry, and she gets a bad headache on the temple. She has started with the nebulizer. She said she doesn't like medical doctors.
All right. Well, first of all, let's not dislike the medical doctors because they really do have their purpose in it. Nobody does anything better than emergency medicine, and that's what they're good at. It's when they start doing emergency medicine on you every day, that's when you become a 911, okay? So let's understand something. To have a vein in her nose or on her nose, okay, that's a weak point. That's all it is, okay? So she can use Vein Away right on top of the vein, okay, and that'll really help it. And she can keep adding to that. But I guarantee you that whenever she gets upset and gets stressed out, the vein, she sees it pop more. Whenever she sees that her diet goes off track, she can see the vein popping more. All right? So if it was a small vein and you learnt your lesson, which means that veins come when arteries get overburdened. Did you get that? So your arterial blood flow is your new blood, fresh blood, oxygenated nutrition. So understand, the veins, they sit more closer to the surface because they're not being pumped by the heart so much. The veins actually get their movement a little bit from the heart, yes, but mainly also from exercise. So now being on top, if I had a vein and it wouldn't go away and I tried, let's say, Vein Away, a little bit of DMSO, okay, and if it wasn't on the nose, because you're not going to clap that, but if it was on her cheek, I would definitely do it, or if it was on the temple. I bet you that if I had a vein here and I clapped it for 25 minutes every night, I guarantee you that that vein is going to go away. Isn't that the craziest thing? So between the Vein Away, the DMSO, and then the clapping, it is going to go away. And also drinking water, because you'll get varicose veins from, whether that's a varicose vein, I mean, it is. Maybe it's not in the legs, but it can be somewhere else. And you get it from not drinking enough water, and especially structured water, and then constipation. Okay? And then even high blood pressure, even though it's not really a disease. And that'll usually come, like I said, when you're stressed out. So check that out and see what you think. Next, Jason.
All right. Next question from Ethel from Virginia. I've been on your daily cleansing tea for 5 years now, and it has saved my life. I really want my sisters to take it, but they are skeptical. Could you please explain to them why this is so important? They're watching your show right now.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Even though, Ethel, it seems logical to you, and you've been on it for 5 years, and you love the tea, but it's not logical to them because it's not logical. How could it be logical taking something every day? Okay. Well, first of all, it should be logical because people will do drugs every day, and this isn't a drug. This has no toxic side effects. But the reality is here's the problem. When it comes to things like that, what we know is that people are taught to create a problem, run to the rescue to fix it. Now, that is actually built into us. Whether it's on an emotional or physical level, we're actually taught to actually create the chaos and then go to the rescue. I mean, that's how the medical system works. That's how a lot of the natural health system works. And if you take a look at the natural health system, a lot of people will say, I do a cleanse once every 3 months, 6 months, once a year. Now, how does a person know it's time to do a cleanse? Well, in today's society, they would know it's time to do a cleanse because they feel like crap. Okay, they feel bloated. They feel sluggish. They've got headaches. They don't have energy. They feel toxic. So they think then it's time to do a cleanse. But if we were to actually think about things, why would we ever pile up the waste inside of our bodies to run to the rescue? Because that means that we had to suffer for a while before we made that click. So understand, every program in the human body that is run comes from the mind. Okay? And the mind stores prominent beliefs. not unprominent beliefs, not small beliefs, but prominent beliefs. And when it stores prominent beliefs, it's going to be storing, for most people, if they don't understand the mind, they'll be storing the beliefs that everybody else believes in. And that is, cleansing is not a big deal. Because guess why? Why would your sisters believe they need to cleanse when doctors, for them, cleansing is a dirty word, okay? Detoxification is a dirty word, okay? So fasting is a dirty word. So the reality is that if it's not talked about and it's not done, they won't want to embrace it. Now, why should they? Well, because guess what? Your large intestine is 85% of your immune system. Your large intestine, the more toxic it becomes, the more the good bacteria that mommy gave you will get pissed off and moody, and then it becomes endotoxin. So if you did not feel loved, if you felt abused, would you be fun to be with? I don't think so. So when your bacteria feel like they're not loved and they get abused, they morph into something else. And then they create endotoxin, which is very toxic. So, but we don't understand that. And the other thing is that if you were to do the daily cleansing tea, you would keep the terrain in the large intestine ideal, which means that your mummy's good bacteria, which is the only good bacteria that you should really be thinking about, not about taking tons of good bacteria, because that buffers the situation. But what really does it for the large intestine is tummy love, black gold, and daily cleansing tea. And I guarantee you, whatever the problem is, if you call us, if you have a few bumps, we'll be able to work out and smoothen out any type of intestinal disorder just by doing those three things. Now, just as, you know what, you're going to breathe every day, you're going to hopefully do some exercise every day. If you gently cleanse every day, because guess what? We have become very toxic with 5G, GMOs, right? Perceived stress that's not actually there, okay? And the average person thinks that they're eating a good diet because the average person is comparing themselves to the majority, and they're actually eating a diet that is toxic, all right? Because what's really good for you and what you think is good for you. That's why I'd never say to anybody, well, do you have a good bowel movement? And they say, yes. And I'd say, well, how would you know? You don't poop with anybody and you don't even know what a good one is. Like every day I'll have 2 to 3 really good bowel movements. And I mean really good bowel movements. And that's the deal. And if I seem to not go throughout the day, you can tell the changes in your body. But when you get used to being filled with poop, when you get used to be carrying the heavy load, you know what? It just becomes a normal part of life. So yes, all I would say is this. We have a money-back guarantee on our products. If your sisters were to start taking the cleansing tea, you know, they could hit a little bumps, like a little bit of gas or a little bit of cramps, but we're here for them. And when you start doing the tea, you know, it tells you how to graduate into it. Just make sure that you're drinking lots of water, because if you're going to chop those logs down, you want to make sure that those logs go where? That they actually make it to the lumber mill. All right? All right. Otherwise, the toilet. Jason?
All right. So our next question is from Anna Marie Smith from Facebook. Love your show. Why do I get vertigo when using the inversion table? What can I do?
All right. Okay. So what you're going to do on the inversion table is you're going to find that if you continue to do it, you won't get that vertigo. Because when I first started, like I've got an inversion table, and when I first started doing it, the first 2 to 3 minutes even felt like pressure on me, and I felt kind of weird. Now I can lay there for 15 minutes, and the longer I lay, I can feel my spine stretching out. I can feel my muscles start to give, and places where there could be starting of adhesions in my abdomen, I can feel those starting to pull. So understand something. It's like anything else. If I was going to hold my breath and go underwater, I could only do it for so long, and it would feel weird for the first couple of times. But as time goes on, your body adjusts. So just give yourself time to adjust. And don't invert straight up and down. Just invert on a slight slant. Maybe just invert on a 45-degree angle to start. And then just stay there. And also, you'll notice that when you think you're getting vertigo, you're not connected to your line heart breathing. Just breathe and let go. Relax. Okay? And you'll see that that'll help. And also understand something. Vertigo believe it or not, is an acidic situation in the human body, and it's usually caused because of toxemia, but also not drinking enough water. I mean, everything, and understand, everything today is going to be about inflammation. The underlying problem for all illnesses is inflammation. Okay, and when you get inflamed and you're under things like 5G, you're getting a lot of blue light, that'll even make vertigo even worse. So definitely, if you've got blue light, take a look at the Tesla glasses. Make sure you're using the Fulvic eye drops or the silver. And also you can put that in your ears as well and let it soak for 5 to 10 minutes. That can be really helpful as well. But I would tell you too that if people have tinnitus or vertigo, they can do clapping here on the ears and in front of the ears and behind, and you're going to find that helps. Anything that's going to stimulate stem cells, increase circulation, because that's what's happening, is that we're getting inflamed in the inner ear, okay? Or we've got fungus in there, and that's creating a problem as well. Or there's mucus in there, but it all seems to come for the ride, right? Whether there's inflammation, decreased frequency, because it's a cave, you could get fungus in there. You're definitely going to get mucus if there's inflammation, because mucus is created in any orifice, whether it's the vagina or the ears or the nose, to help to protect the mucous membrane. I hope that helped. I have a question here that just came in on the phone. If you could hold on, everyone. All right. So Paulina asks if the crystal pendants are available in smaller sizes for her children 2 and 5 years old. Well, actually, you see the pendant now, Paulina? They're actually smaller than this now, and they're all a pretty small size. So he's made them much tinier, because a lot of people said, and how big something is not dependent on how it works. So you can, and if you call in, if you're going to order them for your kids, let us know. Tell us the color, whether it's pink, whether it's purple, whether it's the aqua blue green, and we'll pick the smallest one out for your kids, okay? And for those people who don't understand, these will protect us against Wi-Fi, 5G, and any type of electromagnetic smog, all right? Okay.
All right. So Lucy from Arkansas on Intercom asks, I just purchased the gold-plated structure unit on your Black Friday sale. I would like to know about the house unit.
All right. Well, the gold-plated unit. Okay. So we have structure units that aren't gold-plated, and they structure as well. But the gold-plated unit, because it's gold, it actually is gold on the inside, it's going to give you a higher vibration of all that drinking water. Both of them structure, though. Now, the house unit, it's copper. It's got copper on the inside. Now, why copper? Well, because copper is antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. And when the water comes through, it still structures it, and it creates a vibration in there to help to disinfect. All right? So that's really the big difference, and that's it. And it hooks up just like any of our other water structure units. All right?
And with the house unit too, your showers are going to feel amazing. Softer showers, they're going to be way more relaxing. You're going to love it. Yeah,
not just that, but when you go to wash your clothes, you don't need to use as much soap at all. Because the structured water, it penetrates deeper into the clothes and loosens up the dirt, whether it's in your dishwasher, whether it's in the washer, whether you're showering in it, whether you're drinking in it, even your foods will taste better, because it helps to release more nutrients when you make your foods. Okay?
All right.
And also, don't forget, structured water also helps to neutralize when you're making your foods. It neutralizes the chemical effect if there's any chemicals in the foods, and even GMOs in your foods. It helps to neutralize that. So it helps to bring everything up. All right? Okay.
All right. James from Texas on Facebook. Could you please explain how the Qui-Fi works?
Okay. Well, the Qui-Fi, it works against 5G, okay? And it works against other negative frequencies. But what it's doing is it's not pushing back the negative frequencies. It's what we call collapsing. So Have you ever, like, I could blow a dog's whistle, okay? And you couldn't hear it, but it still exists. Now, what the Qui-Fi is doing is the frequency still exists, but it's been put into a certain state that your cells don't recognize it, and it doesn't do that negative damage on your cells. And it'll do up to 10,000 square feet in the home. Okay?
All right. And if anyone's wondering about the technology that the Qui-Fi uses, it uses scalar waves. So, okay. Owen from Facebook. He asks,
and also, scalar waves are actually, that's something that Tesla actually invented. So you can look that up. Go ahead.
awesome. Okay. Owen from Facebook. I want to heal my body, but it's so hard for me to make changes because of low energy and self-discipline.
Well, that seems to be everybody, buddy. So you can understand. I hope you can understand that. I mean, today the whole world's got chronic fatigue, and the reason why is because we have removed ourselves from nature. Because if you take a look around you, does it look like you live in the country? Does it look like you've got farmland or you've got trees around you, animals around you, running brooks? No. So we've removed nature that way. And then we've allowed corporations to come into our home and into our life and totally remove nature. So as far as being tired goes, you're going to have to do things and take a look at things. Like, for one thing, I hope you're turning off the Wi-Fi at nighttime. Another thing, I hope you're buying a structured water unit and you're looking at a whole plant-based lifestyle. So go and take a look at the Perfect Day Guide to page 37, and also eventually start embracing doing a coffee enema, or start embracing intermittent fasting and leading into one-day fasting, and take a look at our advanced fasting on how you can actually get through a water fast and still have energy. Look, we use products like ATP, Ormus, Fulvic, and to actually help people get through a fast without all the struggle, without all the trouble. All right? So here's the deal. If you don't want to be like everybody else, then don't be like everybody else. Say no. And I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest things is, don't you dare bring anything into the home that isn't totally healthy and totally wrapped in love. Because that's the way it's got to be. If you feel you still want to eat junk, you do it in your car, you do it outside. You make your home a love-free, healthy zone. All right? And as far as discipline goes, each day, just like the snail moving along, just, change the goalpost, right? Okay? Take a different way to work so you don't go past that same burger joint or that same beer parlor. Do you understand? Start changing your routine around. Stop hanging around with alcoholics. Stop hanging around with drug-addicted friends. Stop hanging around with people who believe that what you eat doesn't matter. Stop hanging around with people who believe what you think and what you say doesn't matter, because it does. Start hanging around with people that are focused on a beautiful life, focused on their goals, not talking about all the different people in their family that are screwing them up, or the government, or this, or that, or this. Look, you know what people say to me? They say, well, you know what? Things are so bad, what are we going to do? Well, that's why you're going to focus on your person. You're going to focus on creating the best life for you, because you can't wait for the world to get its act together, because it's not going to for a long time. Throughout history repeats itself until there is people dying in your family, and lots of them. People are not going to be demanding for change. People are so comfortable about being uncomfortable and being in pain, and every time they do, they're so programmed. They run to the doctor, get more drugs, surgery. Okay? Look it. Oh my God. You know what? 980,000 people, okay, had heart surgery and got stents in last year. Are you kidding me? Did you know that 99% of all those operations could have been avoided with drinking the right water, having a great bowel movement like twice a day and monitoring what goes in your mouth, that would have changed everything. And now, guess what? Putting stents in hearts, that is like so secondary. And because it's gotten simpler and easy for them, did you know what it says? That it's increasing by 20% a year on people getting stents put in their heart? Well, I mean, I read this thing and it said, well, because it's so simple and so effective, that we see a 20% increase in heart stents. And I'm guaranteeing you that 99% of all of those stents didn't have to go in that heart. Because you know what? You panicked. You panicked. And I'm not telling anybody to risk their life, but I'm telling you that, you know what? What's the crisis? Don't you ever let anybody talk you into surgery or dangerous drugs and panic you, okay? As far as I'm concerned, we've sold our soul to the devil, all right? And that's the bottom line. You take a look out there, start watching your families and see how they're opting into self-hate programs. Because as far as I'm concerned, these are all self-hate programs. I'm not going to let somebody take a knife to me on the street, and I'm never going to let somebody take a knife to me in the hospital unless I got into a car accident and I needed it for that reason. I'm never going to have to go and take a drug or get knifed or do radiation or chemotherapy because of chronic health care. Are you kidding? I love myself too much. I'm going to look after myself. And you don't get this. You think it's selfish to look after your body and take care of it and love it and stroke it. This is your vehicle given to you by God Almighty. Anyways, I've got a couple questions, I think. What supplements, this is from Julie, asked, what supplements you would recommend for, are you kidding me? Congestive heart failure, inflammation with water retention, and low kidney output. Okay, wow. So inflammation with water retention. Okay, first, let's just use our noodles here. First of all, let's get one thing perfectly clear. When you've got heart failure, okay, then you said, I'm a failure at love. Because your heart is the emotional recorder for your life. And it mainly records all your love relationships, good and bad. So every time you fall in love and somebody breaks your heart, they break your heart. Whenever you fall in love and somebody isn't there for you, you fall to pieces. Your heart falls to pieces. When you feel that nobody cares, your heart is empty. Understand something. Now we're back to the same thing I just talked about. All conditioning, all programming. There is not a physical condition in the human body that is not a psychological condition first, that was not created, and they're all created by ideas. The idea you have about yourself, the idea about your family, the idea about the world, the idea about love. Okay? And we need love. Love is like oxygen. But who does your breathing? You do. So who should do your loving? You should. You should love you completely. Fill that heart up with love. And guess what? And then come together with those people you're attracted to with that magnetism and bring that love together and create the biggest fireworks and rainbow and excitement. Oh my God, I love life. Life is an adventure, but it is not an adventure. It's a bloody horror trauma story when you go with the belief that somebody else is supposed to fill your heart up and make your day. I count on no one to make my day. Nobody. My family, I don't ask them to make my day. I'm going to make it for myself. And you know what? And the day that they have, I am not going to let that affect me. If I can take action to help them when they're down and out, I'll do it. But I am not going to show my love through suffering. I am not going to show my love through pity. It's not going to happen. So understand, everything starts off psychological before physiological. Now, what did she say here? This is so beautiful. This is like I could have wrote this and made this up. Okay? Congestive heart failure. Congestion in the heart. The heart's inflamed. mucus congestion, calcium deposits, crystallization, and scar tissue. The heart is being choked. That same person, lay them down on the ground. Even if they're right-handed, you go and you measure their left breast, chest. You're going to see it's from anywhere from 1/4 inch to 1.5 inches higher than the other chest. And that's the scar tissue, the crystallization, the calcification, wrapped around like a fist. And all that was created was to protect their broken heart because they've been hurt so much. And every time that you are hurt so much, what do? Do you drink water? No, you choke yourself off. Every time you hurt so much, do you make a salad or do you reach for a beer? Do you reach for a Coke? Do you reach for a cigarette? Do you go out and eat fast food? Do you eat things that are going to hurt your heart when your heart is broken? Absolutely. So now, what do we got here? We've got congestion. Well, congestion, like I just said, inflammation, right? Well, inflammation is when you have negative emotion, and guess what? Here's the deal. You will never have heart pain unless you've got brain pain. You will never have heart damage unless you've got brain damage. Because first we have the emotion, okay? And what happens is it triggers the brain, which is the chemist, to release the chemicals. But I don't care. I'm writing an article. I've been writing it for 1.5 years, and I'm going to have it done. And I'll have it done maybe in about 6 weeks, 2 months, I really hope. And it shows that the greatest study that was ever done on cancer and autoimmune diseases shows that you can look at the certain disease or illness a person has in their body, and you can go and do an x-ray of the brain, and it'll always come up in the same place for the heart, in that part of the heart, for that kidney, for that, whatever that part of the body is, you'll see inflammation, and if it's gone on too long, you'll see scar tissue formation right in the brain. So that's the heart-brain connection. So now, the inflammation, okay, we've got water retention. Well, why would you have water? Well, I don't know. Inflammation, you're on fire, boy. You're on fire. That heart's on fire. So there's going to have to be water pulled to the heart to try to bring down the inflammation, because the person who's actually doing this has an acidic brain, which means negative emotions flying around. They have not monitored their emotions. They're not the master of their emotions, okay? And they're not drinking enough water. What goes through the heart? Let me see. Blood. Okay, blood is mainly made out of water. What happens if this person who has the heart failure doesn't drink at least 4 quarts of water a day? Well, you can't put out a raging forest fire with only a couple glasses of water a day. Everybody thinks they drink water, but they don't. Next thing is, let's take a look here. Water retention and low kidney output. Are you kidding me? The same person isn't drinking water. Your kidneys are a water pump, and they're always running. They need water to go through them. It's like taking your kidneys to the gym. When you do not drink water and water does not go through your kidneys, you are going to shrink your bladder and you're going to lose tone in your kidneys. And if you don't drink water, you're drinking Coke, you're drinking tea, you're drinking coffee, and damn it, you know what? You're probably drinking wine or a couple beers at night. So now we don't have a lot of water going through, but what we do have going through is acidic fermented products. And what do you think that's going to do to your kidneys? I think you already know. All right. So she's asking, well, what should we do? Well, that person needs a structured water unit. That person is going to start drinking water and say, I can't drink that much. So like anything else, start going to the gym, start working out. Taking your bladder to the gym is drinking structured water. Okay? The other thing is I would even do patting and clapping on top of the kidney area, and I'd be doing it about 25 minutes every day. And you wait till you see how you release stem cells right in the kidney area to rejuvenate that and bring up your circulation. I would doing patting and clapping for the heart. If you don't want to do it right on the heart first, the heart reflex is the inner arm. If you were to pat and clap and do it as hard as you could, I've done it. And I'll tell you, if I were to do it, and I did it about a month ago here, and all I got was this little speck of blood right here come up. Now, if you've got a heart problem and you did it here, you'd have black and blue, that big of an area. And guess what? That's all the emotional, physical pain coming out of your heart. So you can do it here first, and then you can do the patting and clapping right over your heart, and you're going to be better. And then get yourself on the perfect day diet and start doing the mirror work and tell yourself, today and every day from this moment on, I will honor, respect, protect, and love myself first and foremost before anything else or anyone else, and understand that anybody with heart disease can't trust their thoughts. So from now on, if you've got heart disease, I don't want you arguing with anyone. I want you to stay away from controversy and understand something. You can't give what you're not. And if you're controversial and judgmental to yourself, you're going to be that with your whole family. I did a consultation today for a practitioner, and her patient came on, and we did this. By the time we were done, okay, all right, we started off that she loves her job, okay? We started off that it was family's fault, that she's alienated. We started off that she has a great relationship with her husband, to find out her relationship, she doesn't even have one with her husband, if you call them being roommates. The next thing is, she also found out that it was her fault that she's being alienated by her family, okay? Now, her fault meaning not have guilt. It's her fault because she's running dysfunctional belief programs and systems in her mind that were never hers. Because why would we hurt ourselves? We don't. We just do these beliefs, and then we start hurting ourselves because we don't question what we think. And then she says, oh, and I really love my job. And I go, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I go, you have that job so that you can hide out, and that job keeps your mind busy and keeps you away from people, and that's about as much joy as you have in your life. Boom. So then she's like, wow, my God. And she's just like shocked. And that's what you'd all be if you had a consultation with me. You'd be shocked. Not shocked about how bad you are, because you're not. Not shocked about how broken, or weak you are, because you're not weak. It's just that the beliefs that are the strongest beliefs in you aren't yours. And they're someone else's, and they're probably your parents or the systems that you kind of were taught by that are dysfunctional. So understand, if you're not having a joyful day here and you're not healthy, you're running crappy programs. All right, I think I've got somebody here. Rebecca asks, what would cause circulation problems to the hands, feet, and what to do to fix it? Again, I just said it with the heart problem. That's going to be the same situation. I hope you know that. And the hands and the feet, they're at the other end of the body. There's not enough oxygen, and there's not enough blood supply to make it there. That's the problem. So this person, okay, first of all, stress is the number one disease of all time, and it always will be. Now, stress is the number one disease of all time for everyone, except for that person who knows how to master their emotions. We could have 10 people in the same room, and somebody gets stressed out and they jump off a cliff. Another person gets stressed out and they go to alcohol. Another one has a toke. And the other one goes, what can I learn from this? I got this. Okay, so again, we're talking about the right water. We're talking about, if I had a circulatory problem, I'd be taking I do anyways. I'd be drinking lots of structured water, taking curcumin cayenne, okay? I would make sure that I'm actually setting my phone and doing the Lionheart breathing as much as I can think about it, because oxygen is the fuel, isn't it? So, and this person's not even breathing deep, for sure. I'd make sure that my bowels were moving like we always talk about. I'd be taking fulvic acid in my drinking water, tummy love in my drinking water. Definitely. I don't want to overload people, and I'd be doing the daily cleansing tea, because you know what? You can't have toxic blood unless you're absorbing your waste, or you're terrorizing yourself by triggering chemicals from your brain to make yourself totally acidic, and then you're eating up your minerals and oxygen anyways. This is all it is. It keeps coming back to this. Okay, next. All right, let's see if we got something else here. Good. Why should you never mix proteins, John? I'll tell you why you shouldn't mix proteins and avocados together, because avocados are actually a concentrated protein starch. And if you're eating a protein which is concentrated, you only eat one protein at a meal. So now you're going to take a protein and a heavy oil, which is avocado, and put that together. You're never going to digest it. If you're a blood type O, John, you would digest it better. If you weren't tired, you would digest it better. If you ate it into small little pieces, you would digest it better if you did. And if you were happy, you would digest it better. So these are the things that even if you did it, John, the protein and the avocado, that would make it better. But I still won't do it. I'm a blood type A. My hydrochloric acid is the weakest of all blood types. I mean, I just have to go off a little bit and I'm going to end up feeling acidic because you've got to have the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. So the older you get, the less hydrochloric acid you have. So if I was going to eat a protein with, and I guess you mean animal protein, with avocado, if I were going to do that, I would definitely do it at lunch. That's when I have the most energy. I wouldn't do it in the morning. That would just whack my body. And I wouldn't do it at night when I'm tired, because when you're tired, so is your digestive tract. I would definitely chew it into small pieces. I wouldn't rush it. But I wouldn't do it. And if I said, okay, it's the only food going on here and I think I'll do it, or I'm going out and I really want to eat that because we're having a banquet, then I would take myself, I would take other people, maybe two. I'd take 3 hydrochloric acid capsules, Doc of Detox capsules, and then I would do like 8 to 10 digestive enzymes, and then I know that I would digest that. But I'm not into feeling sluggish. You know what? How many people out there will eat this stuff and they don't care? They'll feel bloated. They'll feel lethargic. They'll feel like laying on. Look at, man, my life is so exciting. I got so much I want to do. I'm not a couch potato. Why would I eat a protein and an avocado together just to go lay on the couch and then fart on my partner's leg later? Because that's all you're going to do. It's going to rot inside of you. I don't care who you are. Okay, so why don't you go by how you feel, and then you'll know. Why don't you go by what your bowel movement smells like, how easy it is to come out the next day, what your breath smells like in your armpits. That's going to give you a really good clue. And understand something. How would you like to be overworked? No. Well, either does your digestive tract. How would you like to do 12 things at once? Well, either would your digestive tract. It likes more simple, fresh and raw, enzymatic, fresh foods. That's what your body loves. Give me high vibration or give me nothing. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Recommend. Okay, got it. Okay, we did it. All right.
So we'll have questions for now. All right. Okay. We have Darrell Wolfe from Facebook. Can you expand on scarred lungs, pneumonia, and inflammation of the lungs?
Okay, first of all, you can't have scarred lungs. You can't have scarred lungs unless you've had inflammation in the lungs for years, or asbestos poisoning, or you could have black mold poisoning, but that's poisoning. But here it is. Okay. So, first of all, when you have pneumonia, you don't have an immune system. Did you get that? A lot of people will even pass on from this life when their body's trying to get rid of pneumonia. That means that your lungs have become so weak. Now, if you had weak lungs, what do you think you should do? Okay, I'm going to tell you what you should do. Okay, let me just get comfortable here. So, if you have weak lungs, I would be doing patting and clapping on my lungs, and I would do that until I feel like there was something that I was going to spew up. Mucus, congestion, hairballs, whatever that could be. And I would just be doing it. I would do that for probably about 30 to 45 minutes. Now, the first time you do it, 5 minutes, you might be... You know what? Because you're so congested. The alveoli in there are so gummed up with catarrh, that's mucus, and that in that catarrh is all this bacteria, could be mold, could be viruses, so you're going to stir stuff up, right? So make sure you're drinking water, you know, and while you're doing it, but we'll do that, okay? I would also get myself a nebulizer. That would be really great. And I would put in the nebulizer some fulvic bright ice because that goes in and it grabs heavy metals, and it can grab heavy metals and toxins, and it also delivers nutrients right into the alveoli. And then I would also do the silver bullet because that's going to neutralize, it's not going to neutralize it. It creates an environment that viral, bacterial, and fungal can't live in. So, and you would just do it in through the nose, and I would use a nebulizer. You can see it on my website with the silver bullet and with the fulvic. And you breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. I'll tell you what else I'd be doing. If I had a lung problem, okay, which I might have a slight problem still, but not too bad because I used to be a chronic smoker when I was younger. But I would be making sure my bowels were clean because your bowels are linked to your lungs. Did you know that? Yes, sirree, they are. And I would be doing coffee enemas. And guess what? If I had a lung problem and I had pneumonia, man, I would be on a fast, so fast, of the ATP, the fulvic, the Ormus minerals, and I would be doing advanced coffee enemas. I mean, the ultimate coffee enema with tummy love in it, and with the SAC coffee and the black gold, and I'd be doing that twice a day. And I would be also, what else would I be doing? Well, I would be definitely doing things like skin brushing, and I'd be doing salt glows, all right? I would definitely, if I could afford it, I would get an Avicen. An Avicen increases your circulation to your lungs by 66%. Yeah, go figure. That is the highest. That's higher than a hyperbaric chamber. That's the most advanced energy medicine device for increasing microcirculation in the human body in the world today. And you can go to my website and go to Energy Medicine Guide, click on that and watch the video on the Avicen. But that's just a start. So if you're doing the fasting, you're doing the coffee enemas, the ultimate coffee enema, you're on those few nutrient products. I would also be doing salt glow skin brushing over this area. And I would also be putting things like maybe peppermint or spearmint or, whatever oil you think you really would like to put on here, okay? But those are the things I would definitely be doing just to start. And pneumonia, that's, like I said, you've just blown your immune system. That's why you have a crisis going on in your lungs. But you must support the other organs if you want the lungs to get well. And this is what we do. When we have a weak organ in the body, everybody goes and looks over there. And the problem's over here, it's over here, it's over there. When you have a chronic condition in your body, let me tell you something. You have 10 to 15 blocks. When you have cancer, you've got 30 other blocks in your body. But you're just going to look at the tumor. You're just going to look at the cancer over here. And that's why you're always going to be battling, because guess what? It's called whole body healing, not partial body healing. And society has taught us not to look at things as a whole. Okay? And if you don't watch it, you're going to put yourself in a hole if you don't. All right? Okay. Yellow Rose asks if there's a way to stop cherry angiomas from appearing, if it's okay to take humic and tummy love at the same time. Yes, it absolutely is. Okay? It totally is. All right? And I would definitely, like I just said, I'd be looking at the perfect day, and I'd be looking at doing fastings in this situation. I'd be going on the SAC calcium. Understand, the SAC calcium is not on my website anymore because the FDA made us take it down. We have Cardigen, okay? We have Ozo Jr. for children. We have Merigen for really chronic problems. We have Alzagen for Alzheimer's, okay? And let me just tell you this. We have Megagen for those who never want to ever have osteoporosis, or they've got osteopenia. It'll slowly turn it around. But Merigen will take an 85-year-old person that's got crumbling bones and totally reverse turn it around, and nothing else will in the world be able to reverse or help the body to reverse osteoporosis like this. Look at these products I just said will grab the calcium throughout your whole body and return it back where it needs to be. This is why we're not allowed to advertise it. This is why if you go to our ionic calcium page on our website, You can click on there, go to my library, take a look at the SAC calcium guide, and you'll find out we're not even allowed to tell the different products anymore. Why? Because, well, there's absolutely not one negative side effect from this product. And if you were to see the hundreds of thousands of testimonials, it would blow your mind. But you know what? Yeah, you know what's going on. All right? Give me 1 second. All right. Oh, John Hennessy is asking me what shampoo I use. You know what? I don't even know the name of it. It's an all-natural organic shampoo, John. You know what? Yeah. I really don't know the name of it. I don't buy it. Somebody else orders it, okay? Kelly Martin asks for suggestions on how to get a good night's sleep when in menopause. Okay, I love this. I just love this. There's no such thing as menopause. Oops. Yes, there is, Darrell. Well, yeah, there is. We know there's hormonal changes, but the only reason why the symptoms are being blown out is because guess what? If we were to do the same thing I just said and get you on the daily cleansing tea, the tummy love, if we could actually get you on the perfect day diet, and we could actually get you to do coffee enemas, get you on Divine Vine, get you on the tummy love. I think I said that. Tummy love, daily cleansing tea, black gold for your bowels, because that's really huge. Guess where we have the most problem? Okay, so when you go into menopause, what's really happening? Well, first of all, your period's either slowing down or stopping. Okay, so why do you have a period? To slough off the egg? Well, yeah, but that's just one side effect. The reason why you have a period every month is because if you happen to get pregnant, why do you think women can handle more pain? Why do you think women live longer? Because they have a period every month. Don't you get that? Why can they handle more stress than us? Because they have a period every month. They're clearing out the worst toxins because they are the bearers of life. Without them, this world would not exist. That's why men are so scared of women. They live longer. They're stronger. They can handle stress better. Okay? Did you know that? Okay, they can get well faster. But the reality is because they bring life into the world, a man and a woman can go out and eat the same meal. He'll burp and fart, and she'll be throwing up. She'll have a fever. Well, that's because she is a very sensitive tool that brings life into this world. So now when your period is slowing down or stopping, guess what? Hey, girl, you've always been jammed up in your bowel. And you know what? Your liver's so gunked up like a filter that now you don't have your period every month to get rid of those toxins. So what has to take it? Well, guess what? If you don't want to have night sweats and mini fevers continually, then get the pot off the burner, turn the inflammation down. How do you do that? Get the cork out of your bum. Cleanse that liver, because that's the filter of your blood. Make sure you're drinking tons more structured water because you didn't drink enough water that whole time, and now you're dehydrated. So now let's do the 3 quarts of water. Let's get the fulvic in it, get the tummy love in it. Let's get our bowels moving 2 to 3 times a day, and then tell me that you have menopause. And I'll tell you, you'll pause for a moment, and you'll call me, and you'll say, yeah, thanks. 30 days, I guarantee, if you go on my protocol, we will bring the fire down 80 to 100%. How's that? Is that enough? You're only sweating because you're in a fever state. You can't sleep because your nervous system is frying out, because now that the periods stop and your lymph system's all clogged up, right? And you're all clogged up in your lymph, you're all clogged up in your liver, you're all clogged up in your colon. What's going to happen? Something's got to blow. All right. So I think I got another message. I think I've turned the heat up on there out there. What do you think? Okay. You know what? I just asked, would I use essential oils and water fasting? Well, guess what? I did. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, it's like this. You know what? When I first started the cleansing protocols, I used to run the North American Institute for the Advancement of Colon Therapy. I was actually the first colon therapy school in, one of the first schools in Canada, and I was one of the first institutes to do the type of colonics that we used to do. So I opened up my first colon therapy school when I was 27 years old. What do you think of that? Pretty young, eh? So since then, everything has changed. Like, I don't do colon therapy. I don't have a colon therapy clinic because I don't really think you need one. Do I think I think it helps people? Yes. So I'm not putting it down. But I will tell you this much, that you can go on a fast and use essential oils, because essential oils, they absorb that fast into your body. They don't turn on your digestive tract. You know, when I was doing I just finished my water fast. I was using cinnamon in my drinking water to help balance my blood sugar levels, because I was still working down in Mexico. I was working on doing deep tissue, showing some practitioners and doctors how to pull fibroids apart. So I was just drinking water and doing some cinnamon in my water all day long with some fulvic and ormus minerals and some ATP, and that's what got me through. Okay? So yes, you can use essential oils, and we also can use orange burst, or we can use lemon lift. So all of these things, all right? Yeah, you can use them. Let me put it to you this way. There's rules out there that people have taken, and I believe they're archaic when it comes to fasting. I believe they're archaic when it comes to diet. And I believe that we have archaic rules when it comes to exercise. And you know what? I look at everything and go, how can I hack this? How can I make it easier, more fun for them? Well, really for me, because everything in my life is about having fun. You know, people actually believe that struggle and hardship and, you know, it's all about that. You know, he who suffers the most in the family loves the most. I don't know where that one came from, but it's about time that one went into the garbage can. Okay, all right. If a person with estrogen dominance estrogen dominant cancer can take daily cleansing tea, since blessed thistle is no, yes. You know what we do? We take one little thing and we blow it out of proportion. I want to tell you something that we've really got to make sure that we don't lose ourselves, okay? You're going to find that people are going to take something, some little research, and they're going to blow it up to take people off track. You can definitely take the daily cleansing tea if you have estrogen dominant cancer, and the blessed thistle inside of it is not going to cause a problem. It's not, I swear. What's going to cause a problem if you don't get your bowels moving? Did you ever notice something? Why don't you check with the family and find out every time that somebody's ready to pass on? What happens when people are ready to pass on, and even if they're not ready to pass on, what happens to them? What happens and causes them to pass on faster when they don't even want to pass on? You can't poop. I'm going to tell you something. I've got 3 cancer patients right now, and one of them I just talked to, and they're in Alberta, and she's a beautiful woman, older woman, and I told the kids, I said, if you don't get her to go to the bathroom, she's not going to make it. And she wasn't pooping for 4 days, and she was going down. And guess what? They go, well, her tummy's full of water, and guess what? It wasn't full of water. Do you know what it's full of? Gas, because she didn't poop for 4 days. And that is the worst thing that can happen. That is like throwing gasoline on the fire when you've got cancer. You got to make sure your liver and your bowel are working when you have any type of condition. You've got to get on that right away. Okay? Jason.
All right. Came from Alabama. Could you be so kind and tell us what's on sale for Boxing Day?
We will let you know, because right now I don't even know. I don't really know. I do know there's a sale going on right now with some products, right?
It's Humic, Fulvic, Tummy Love. They're all the smaller ones, so the 60 mil.
Stocking stuffers, right?
Yeah.
Stocking stuffers.
A few essential oils, daily cleansing tea, 2-week sample, so you can buy some gifts for your friends or your family. Get them to try it out, see how they like it.
All right.
We'll give you an update on the Boxing Day sale as it comes. Okay, Jennifer from YouTube. Could you please explain the difference between personal treatment and training, clinical certification, and your certification courses.
All right, but I'll make this short. Okay, personal treatment and training is when somebody will come with their caretaker and we'll show them how to diet, detox, and how to do our non-surgical and deep tissue on that person, because usually they come, they're either in a walker, wheelchair, and they want to get out of it, really. And or they'll come, or you'll get like a couple will come and they'll come together to learn how to do the deep tissue and the non-surgical, and to help to support each other emotionally and physically. And they'll stay here for 5 days to 7 days. Or we'll send one of our master trainers, like right now, Sage just went to LA and he was there doing one, and then he's now in St. John, and then he's going to go back down to Carlsbad. Oh, well, anyways, we have trainers that are on the go all the time. They're either there or they're here working. That's the PTT. The clinical certification, we just did a clinical certification in the States where we train 3 practitioners how to do our techniques. We go there and do that, and we certify them in Wolfe Deep Tissue and Wolfe Non-Surgical. And then